We're gonna lie down on our back today in a conscious resting pose. So, knees will be bent, and then your feet are in line with your sitting bones. And then the arms could fall off to the sides. You could place one hand on your belly, one over the heart. Some days I like to do like a goalpost arms to open up the shoulders and allow the heart space to be open. And you can close the eyes. Feeling Mother Earth underneath you and feeling slightly vulnerable as we let the armor down. We're going to use our good to be alive breath, inhaling, expanding through the belly as the breath comes in through the nose. And emptying the lungs, the belly, flattening everything out as the breath exits through the lips. Almost like a sigh. And just taking 2 more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Open mouth. Good. Now you can bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly Supta Baddha Konasana. Your choice to keep the arm position as is or make any changes. Going a little bit deeper now as we start to open up the hips. And I want you to notice if you feel a sign of peace washing over you. And our theme today is about how do we create more of that feeling. We're going to focus on letting go of all that is not serving us or causing us stress, keeping us up at night. Because we want to feel good. We don't want any of this outside drama to affect our internal joy. So notice if you're clenching in the glutes. See if you could relax. Think about the shoulders really melting into the mat underneath you. Relax through the fingertips, almost like you had a crystal in the palm of your hands. Knowing that you can do this yin practice at any time. What's beautiful with technology is we've got this library, not just on Facebook, but on YouTube as well. Whenever you need to calm the body, the mind, the soul, and bring them all together, you can press the play button in the privacy of your own home. We're going to take 3 more cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. After that final exhale, let's go ahead and come to Shavasana, extending the arms and legs. Give your body a full good morning stretch. Really lengthen through the right side and then lengthen through the left side. Gentle spinal twist. You're going to draw the knees up into the chest, rock a little side to side. And then open your arms out like a letter T and let your knees fall to the right. Your right hand could come on top of this left thigh. And then just melt the left shoulder down as you look left. Getting a nice stretch, not only in the side waist, as we open the heart chakra, maybe a little stretch on the neck. Some days it's crystal clear on what we need to let go. And other days we're finally in this good space that we can just trust that the universe knows. So you can use the mantra, let go. And then if you're certain of what you're ready to release, sickness, stress, anxiety, you could fill in the blank. Otherwise, with every breath in, you'll think the word let. And with the exhale out, go. Draw in one more time. Long, slow, deep in. Let. Exhale, go. And then let the head come back to center. Let the knees come back to center. If you want to place them back onto your yoga mat, the knees can come in to touch each other. And then you can bring both hands right over the heart for protection. Fourth chakra, this is our vulnerability. Heart chakra is my favorite chakra. I find that when I lead from my heart, I come from a place of love. And it's the bridge chakra connecting the upper energy channels to the lower energy channels. So when this one is running efficiently, we feel in harmony, we feel balanced. Good, draw the knees back in. Open the arms out like your wings. Knees fall to the left. Again, this left hand could be on the right knee, maybe just above it on the thigh. And then some days I like to pick up my chest so that right shoulder can come closer to the mat. And then extend that right arm out. So we're thinking of the hip not only on a diagonal, so it's kind of going forward into the side, all the while the right shoulder continues to melt. So we lengthen through the intercostal muscles and the side body. We're three-dimensional beings, so it's not just inhaling and exhaling through the front and back, but both of your sides. Staying with your mantra, your affirmation of letting go. Whenever you're ready, the mind and body are going to follow. So this is really deep inner work. But you deserve to feel happy. Whatever's weighing you down, let it be lifted so that you could feel light, stress-free, and at ease. Take your final breath in this pose. Empty out through the lips. Good. Head to center, knees to center. Now you can grab opposite elbows around your shins. Gently rock from side to side. And then you're going to bring your hands anywhere on the back of your thighs. So it could be behind your knees, the bulk of the hamstring. And just start to take some rock and rolls. Really good for the central nervous system here. And then you're going to come all the way up to seated. So this next pose, you might want to turn so you're facing horizontal on your mat. And we're going to start with Baddha Konasana. So we did this on our backs. We'll do it again at the very end of class. But for now, we're just going to sit upright. Now, find that place in the middle. Not where the heels are so close in. Not where they're so far out that the feet are splaying. But like right in between. If you want to move any flesh from the sitting bones back behind you, feel free. Yogi's choice, you could reach for your feet. You could thread your arms underneath the calves. And then we're going to start to lead with the heart as you hinge, but then round. So that chin is going to tuck in. The shoulders relax. The weight of your head goes. It's head, right? We carry that head all day long. So just let it go. Relax the jaw. Let the belly be soft as all the organs shift to the front of your body. Not only feeling a stretch in the inner groin, but some days the IT band, the lower back. Now if you hold tension through the upper back and neck, we're letting that release here as well. So we're halfway through this stretch. If you'd like to move the arms, you can either draw them further forward, maybe coming onto the forearms, palms are facing up. You may also choose to bring them behind you, where the tops of your hands rest on your yoga mat, and this is going to round and dip your shoulders even further forward. If it's too extreme and you like a little bit of that control, keep the arms forward. It's just an option if you want to take it a little bit deeper. So we're trying to soften around the edges, not going past and exceeding the boundary, right? We create, but respecting it. Softening deeper and deeper with every breath you take. You'll notice that the mind tends to travel and you get to decide to catch it. You know, where you're drifting. Oftentimes it's the same place we go. So if you're replaying something that has already happened versus thinking about what's ahead. And that's why we really work on the breath, the mantra, the affirmation, because these are tools that help us stay in the moment. When you're ready to exit, I recommend walking the hands back in so you can feel that your shoulders are directly above your hips. And now we're going to take deer pose. So you're going to keep your left shin where it is. You're going to lean over to the left, and we're going to try to create almost like a frog-shaped leg, which is why I had you go horizontally on your mat. So if you were to take a ruler from your hip to your knee, it should be one line. And then again, you're going to open out the knee and the ankle. So that's another 90-degree angle, even line. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. So the left shin is here. The right hip and knee are one way. And then you can kind of open that shin out. So if you want to put any blanket or support under that right ankle, you may. From here, we're going to hinge forward. And we're going to transfer the upper body weight. So again, if you've got your bolster nearby, you can bring it in front of you and you can kind of hang out here. If you need some support, maybe under that right knee, feel free. And don't worry so much about the alignment because we're getting into the connective tissue, so it doesn't need to be so perfect. We're literally taking this fascia and connective tissue and we're melting it. So notice, do you feel it in the left outer hip? Maybe the low back? And be mindful that when we move our upper body weight, we're going to shift the sensation. So there's not really a right or a wrong answer. It's just where your body is holding on to some tension. We're going to let that dissolve. So sometimes the mind puts a label on this, like, ooh, I like it, I don't like it. And see if we can work on just the acceptance that it's a pose. We don't have to attach meaning or messaging with it. We can just kind of see it for what it is. We're going to take 3 more breaths exactly as you are. And then we're going to move the orientation of that upper body. So you might like it, you might not, but again, we're just being open-minded to the experience. Knowing that everything you're feeling physically and emotionally is temporary. So that's the good news. Especially in times of discomfort, it just means you're growing. All right, so first one, we're gonna come up onto the finger pads and we're gonna walk over to the left. So think of like a pigeon, right? Where the belly button kind of folds over that thigh. We're gonna hang out. You can use your prop. Just notice, does this feel more comfortable? Do you feel the sensation move? And it takes patience to let the fascia work happen because it's a very sticky web-like structure throughout the body. It wraps around not just the muscles, but the bones, the joints. It's actually the first thing that happens in embryo when the baby's forming. So it's kind of cool to know how much of it really makes up our body. I think that's why yin is becoming just more and more popular as people discover the way it makes you feel after practice. And know that you can always exit early. It shouldn't really be painful. It should almost be like a discomfort that in some way we kind of like because we feel alive and we know that the benefits are really, really important. All right, we're going to come back to the center and then we're going to try to walk it over to the right. So this is going to be a little more challenging. Some of you will stay upright because automatically this like right outer hip kind of feels it, right? If you've got your prop, you can even place it maybe on the mid side where it's not like all the way up and it's not all the way flat. And just hang out over here. Little side waistline getting the stretch. Oblique. Maybe you come down onto the forearms or you make a little pillow for the forehead. You discover what's working for you. Knowing that the deeper you breathe into the stretch, the more not only you'll feel, but you'll get a deeper release too. So it's kind of sweet. You can even envision that the breath is healing the area of your body that needs it the most. So maybe it's the place of discomfort in the hold. Maybe you're taking care of your vital organs. Maybe you're just sending the healing to every cell of your being so that you can operate at the best vibe, the best frequency, being the best version of yourself. So come back to center. Start to walk your hands in, sit upright. You're gonna lean over to that left so you can bring this right leg around. Before we do the second side, I want you to extend both legs out to straightness and kind of just let the legs extend. Let the point feet flex them side to side. Close the hip for a moment, do what you got to do, and then we'll come back. So remember, it's not heels in close, it's not heels away, it's that Goldilocks right in the middle. Now we'll lean over to the right. We're gonna take left knee in line with that left hip, right? So a 90-degree angle here, and then we're gonna open that left ankle out. So it's a half frog leg, okay? This is a nice hip opener. So the first variation, it's okay if this left sitting bone comes up, okay? Again, we're focusing on the deeper work in yin. So we're gonna hang out right at center before we go both ways. And this side might be a complete new experience, so we're just open-minded to that. The hips are super complicated. There's lots of energy between the masculine and the feminine side. This goes deep into a lot of our meridians. So no matter what you come to yoga for, you're going to get layers and layers, and then whatever you're open to receiving is what your mind will be ready for, right? always say, do the best you can with what you got. Every day we roll out our mat, it's a new experience. I don't even know. I was just thinking, like, when's the last time I had an amazing night's sleep? It's like there's always something that either awakes me, whether it's a kid or heavy rain, right? All right, so what we're going to do in this variation, we're going to go to the right first, okay? So you're going to start to walk your arms over. And again, think of the belly button folding over that leg. So you can be on your forearms, you can totally come down. So I could hang out here for a while. This is actually comfortable for me. And if it's not for you, that doesn't mean anything other than you hold body tension in a different place than I do, right? Maybe here I'm more open. Releasing expectation, especially of things that are not in our control. So that we open ourselves up to what is in our control, and that is our inner peace. Is there a toxic habit that keeps showing up, or a relationship that you feel taken advantage of? It should be give and take, okay? So we shouldn't just have relationships that are constantly taking from us. It needs to be balanced, not tit for tat, but the relationship needs to be adding to your life in some way. Taking one more cycle of breath. Really fill up, even at the height of the inhale, when you think the lungs are full, take in that last bit of air. And then smooth exhale, slow. At the bottom, when you're empty, let go of a little bit more. That's the staleness. And then you'll come back up, come through center, and then over to the left. So again, some of you are hanging out up here. That's fine. You start to feel these places in the body that you really access, right? Unless you do the yin in these long holds. When else are you going to do this position and hold it for this long, you know? You can come to the forearms. You could bring your block over. If it's too extreme and you feel like you can't even move, draw that right heel in a little bit more and see if that helps. Maybe getting a little stretch in this left ab, T-band. Just trusting the process. Even when we don't understand in the moment, we can be victim. Poor me, it's not fair. This one has this one's easier to this. But one of my teachers said to me once, if you could throw all your problems into a bowl, like a trueness bowl, and like you would see everyone else's issues, you'd probably take yours back. Because we never know every single thing that's happening in others' lives. Taking your final breath here, we're going to feel a nice awakening, a nice opening. Again, at the height when you're full, take in a little more air, surprise yourself. And then empty the lungs. And when you think you're empty, let go of a little bit more. And then slowly come back to center. Walk those hands in, stack shoulders above hips, lean over to the right. Help yourself bring that left leg in. Again, extend them forward. Oh yeah, we were in there a while. Windshield wiper, point flex. And then go ahead and turn facing forward on your mat. And you can use your arms as brake pads as you come down. Oh, so good. Let that all go. Take Shavasana, reset. It's like when your phone is updating with the new software. Let everything run at its best. I cannot believe how fast time is flying. We only have enough time for 2 more poses. So let's stretch and reach and then draw the knees in. Rock side to side. This should feel really good on your lower back. You can even bring a hand on each of your knees and draw circles, taking them up and into the chest and then out, away from and forward. And then once you've done 3, reverse it, right? Bring the knees out, forward, open, and then back and in. All right, hands are gonna tuck behind the thighs. We'll do those rocks and rolls. Again, you could do 1, you could do 3. I like 3. Past, present, future. Mind, body, soul. And then we're gonna come to our frog pose, okay? So we're gonna cue this horizontal on the mat. That way your knees have a lot of cushion or support. You can open them as wide as you can, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that right ankle in line with the right knee and the left ankle in line with the left knee. You can slowly come to the forearms, but here's the thing. We don't wanna lean forward. We wanna keep hips going back and down. Okay, you can use your prop. You could rest forehead. Some of you will be able to come all the way onto your chest. But again, try not to lean forward. You can open the arms. You can take your head to the side. But every time you want to draw the hips forward and down, I want you to think back. Even if you're on your hands, okay? Now, if you need to support your knees, feel free. I'm gonna turn so you can see the side profile. Because sometimes when I'm teaching in person, I'll come and I'll say, open this right ankle out. Yeah. Open this left ankle out. And then this is a nice stretch in the inner groin. This is one of the stretches that you feel like 2 days later, you're like, was I just horseback riding? And again, if it's too extreme, you can always exit early, okay? And if you want to take a different variation of that, is just like not working with your knees, I find that a straddle pose is the second best way I can get that nice inner thigh stretch. And you can just hinge forward. But if you can try the frog, I highly recommend it. We opened one side at a time in the deer pose, so it's not like, oh my gosh, the body is just like in shock. It actually is expecting what's coming. And we just use these affirmations like all is temporary. And sometimes when the things are the most uncomfortable and they keep showing up for us, it's like, all right, if your higher power, no matter what religion you believe in, was speaking to you, what is the message? Like, why does this keep showing up? And then once we kind of know that and we enhance that in our lives, all of a sudden, like, things kind of fall into place. So sometimes it's just that first step, that boundary that needs to be set so you're not taken advantage of. How can you feel at ease and peaceful? So we've got 1 more minute. If you went too extreme, you can always come back to your hands. You're more like all fours. That way you kind of support the upper body weight. If you're like, you know what? 1 minute I could do anything in my life. Come all the way back. Lie that chest. Be a sleeping frog instead of a jumping frog, right? I like the variation with my forearms down because it gives me that little bit of control to keep sinking hips down and back. Because every time I don't do it, like I forget, and then I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. Back, down, back, down. Almost hurts so good. Intense, but manageable. Even if you think of the end goal to get you through it. Health, lubrication, hydric acid in those joints, nice and fluid, range of motion increased. Thank you, body, for showing up, for having two legs, to be able to do these stretches. Okay, if you're ready to come out, I am so ready. Walk your hands in. There's no graceful way. Sometimes I just kind of take my knees in. You can use your feet to help and just lie back. Oh, right? Oh my goodness. Take up a little space now so your feet can go off your yoga mat. You can even do like a 5-point star with your arms. Whew. And then when you're ready, we'll roll onto our belly. We'll do a quick Sphinx pose into our shoulder stretch. After the forward folds, it's nice to kind of arch the spine, anti-aging here. As you come onto your forearms, elbows are under that shoulder. If you want to straighten your arms, you could lift the forearms off the ground. If you want to do your seal, your thumbs will face forward. You can walk your hands in for more intensity. Just make sure the shoulders stay on the back of your body. You can drop the head, take a neck roll to the right, come through center, take it over to the left. Couple more if it feels good. And then let the head fall to center. You're going to come down to your belly. Take your right ear to the mat. Just let your arms close off for a moment so you're looking to the left. And then for the shoulder opener, you come back to the Sphinx. We're going to thread the right arm through. So you're going to take your right arm, take it all the way to the left. Keep your 5 fingernails on the ground. Pull the right shoulder down and away from the ear. So you could stay with the left arm extended here. If you want more, what you're going to do is you're going to keep the legs on the earth. You're just going to scoot your knee to the right so that the left foot is kind of inside the leg. I'm going to turn so you can see. I know your brains are kind of like mush now. So see, it's almost like your tree on the floor. All that's going to do is give you a little more intensity in the shoulder stretch. So if you like it, you'll keep it. Otherwise, you just keep that right leg extended and you'll get the benefit here. For my tennis players, my Zumba dancers, right? Golfers. So as you breathe in, the belly rises into the ground as it fills up, right? And as you exhale, it flattens out. The belly button kind of pulls up towards your spine. It's a cue that either is like, that makes sense, or like, how does my belly go into the spine? Okay, so you're going to extend the right leg back to straightness if you did it. Everyone's going to slide the left knee to your right wrist. Now the left arm is going to open up and then let it fall back. And here we are in spinal twist again. So it's a really nice way to get to it. Your hips are totally facing to the right as the left shoulder tries to touch down, but it probably won't in this variation because of the way we came into it. Gravity is taking this left arm. And it's a good moment. Take one more breath just for time purposes. And then to exit, we're going to float this left arm back until the palms touch each other. Slide left leg straight. Come to your belly. Take your left ear to the mat. Look right and just let your arms come by your side. Reset. And then we're going to do side 2. So Sphinx pose. This time, left arm threads through. So it's a thread the needle. We do this on all fours. We do this in child's pose, but on the belly, you get the most. Your right arm continue to extend. The left shoulder has to pull down so that you can rest your chin or your forehead. Some of you will even take your block and rest it here. Now, if you want, you stay here. If you want more, the left knee comes to the side. And that really enhances the shoulder stretch. So I'll turn to the side just because I know for some of you it's like, what did she just say? What is that cue? So again, the left arm threads through and the left knee comes to this side. It's kind of confusing because it's the same arm and the same leg, but we're taking one way and one the other. So I totally get how it could be confusing, especially when we're relaxed at this level. I mean, when else do you throughout the day just really focus on what you're doing? Just being completely present. Not distracted. Feels so good in the top left shoulder. And then again, everyone's going to slide the left leg back even if you didn't. The right knee is going to now come up towards that left arm. And then the right arm will fall open. So we come to this yummy spinal twist. There's a soft smile on the lips because the heart is open. We come full circle because we did this pose in the beginning of class. We just got into it a different way. We had both knees bent. We talked about space between the shoulder and the hip as the side waistline stretches. Good. And now to exit, all you have to do is lie on your back. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together for final stretch. Supta Baddha Konasana. So, how do you want your arms today? Do you want protection, hand over heart, hand on belly? Where my football Sunday fans at with the games that are still on, right? You can come to your goalpost arms. My personal favorite, if you've been watching for a while, let your fingers gently touch overhead so you create this butterfly shape. This is the body as a vessel where energy rises, Sushumna rises. So you're going to relax your feet, your toes, the ankles. Relax up through the calf muscles and your shins, your knees, the hamstring, the quadricep up to your hips. And then relax your glutes, the spine, the organs, all the way up through the collarbones and shoulders. Relaxing through the arms, the biceps, the triceps, down to the forearms, the hands, the wrists, the fingers. Relaxing through the neck, the face, the areas around your eyes, your jaw. Separate your teeth, relax the tongue. Eyes roll back into the sockets. So this is you in your purest form. Feeling peaceful and at ease. And knowing that when you show up and you do the work and you trust the process, you are going to be supported. So only when you're ready to slide into final relaxation. There are some days where I am so comfortable as is, I don't want to move. And because we did those hip openers and shoulder openers, you might want to extend the arms, extend the legs. Taking final conscious breath in. Open mouth sigh. 1 full minute Shavasana. We're going to take our time as we return to consciousness. Maybe blink the eyes open and then close them again. Noticing the world will continue to move around and you could find this stillness. And then bring a little movement back. Fingers and toes, turn head side to side. Maybe reach arms up and overhead as you feel the benefits. Draw the knees in so you hold on to them. Maybe curl into this little ball, balancing on just one place in the spine. Extend the right arm like a pillow. Come to your fetal pose. So this signifies a fresh start. We go from corpse to fetal, rebirth. And then in your own time, come to seated. And with the hips being so open, maybe today you try half lotus, bringing the right heel above the left hip. Okay, and maybe you try your full lotus, drawing left heel on top. Keep your eyes soft. Bring your hands to heart center, closing the eyes, bowing your chin to your fingertips. Making a vow to yourself to give up things that cause you stress, that keep you up at night. And cultivate all of the things that make you feel good and happy. Because that is how it should be. If only it was that simple for us, right? So the light in me honors and recognizes the light in each of you. Take this feeling of peace with you. Don't let anybody, don't let any situation take it from you. And with that, we say, Namaste.